scoring. Jacob Layton sitting in that top 3 with a 5:14. Sanchez Riley routine say is going to take an E for round 1. Drivers, you got about a minute 10 left to go. Minute 10 left on the master. Watch him in the back jump section. 4 minutes in, 1 to go. With under 40, drivers under 40. Kowalski and Carly, 9/10 to a second gap. Kowalski putting his head down, stringing the laps to happiness. Watch it in center, guys. Watch it in center. Thank you, Mr. Pease. With less than 15, drivers less than 15. Less than 5. And I will need about 3 volunteer corner marshals to help me out race number 12. 3 volunteer corner marshals. Help me out race number 12, please. Time has expired on the master clock. Keep them rolling, guys. Everybody should be done when you cross our finish line. Biggie, you are done.
Jacob
Layton, you're done. Carly, you're done. Row team, you're done. Waiting on Sanchez and Riley.
Austin Riley
on 1. That is a race. I'll stop. Take it on the last lap. Jacob Layton. Carly in the 2. Kowalski going to drop it to the 3. Race number 12. Coming up at you next.
All right, guys, thanks for hanging in with us. And just as I say that, I got Matt on the phone. Stay with us, guys. I'm going to flip you right back on over to Richard.
All right, drivers from race number 11, I need you guys back on the track, please. Drivers from race 11, back on the track, please. And again, I'll need 3 volunteer corner marshals. Let's go and roll them out. Check them in.
David the deal. Scott Spear. Kurt Winger.
It's going to be David, Willie Smith, Aaron Brown, Adam Peters, Scott Spear, Aaron Jensen, Bialis, and Winger.
Adam Peters.
I appreciate it. Thank you. 25 pounds. All right, no more laps, guys. No more laps. And it's going to be David, Willie Smith, Aaron Brown, Adam Peters, Scott Spear, Jensen, Bialis, and Winger.
1 minute to the start of the race.
And again, all marshals need to be standing other than the ones that are on the buckets. Thank you very much. At the sound of your name.
45 seconds to the start of the race.
Willie Smith, Aaron Brown, Adam Peters, Scott Spear, Aaron Jensen, Justin Bialis, and Kurt Winger. We are locked and loaded. Race number 12, almost halfway home of our first round of qualifying. Here is your 2024 1UP Buggy Challenge. Current TQ, Jacob Layton, 14 out of 509.
All right, guys. And I'm back. Sorry about the internet issues. That's going to be something we're going to be battling here. Got great upload right now, but it just randomly drops out to 0. So I'll talk to the boss man in a little bit. Maybe do a reset tonight at the shop on the router. Because we are on hardline, but it just randomly drops from great upload to 0. So thank you guys for sticking with us and hanging out watching this. Right now we're in our B sort of the TDK 17.5 two-wheel expert class. This is the B sort. We got the A sort coming up next, and we'll catch an interview with our TQ. Right now we have Jensen in the lead on a 15.5.16. Watching our timing and scoring on another page here. Right now the current TQ is Jacob Layton on a 14.509, but Aaron Jensen's on a 15.518. Losing a couple seconds, but still massively in front now. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. This is the 1UP Buggy Challenge at the world famous Hobby Action in Chandler, Arizona. Aaron Jensen with a 20.9 best. Scott Spear with a 20.7 best. Spear in the B sort here. Always mega fast here at Hobby Action. Oh man, that buggy checking out the oval track. That was one heck of a traction roll. Aaron Brown up into the 2 spot. 1.3 back, 20.8 last, 20.2 best. Fastest person on the track, though, is Day with a 20 flat. So David Day in the 4 spot, pulling off a 20 flat in this class. But Aaron Brown now to the spot with a 15.520. 1:45 left to go in this one for, oh no, and as I was about to say, Aaron Brown, he drops down to a 14.501. Justin just pulling ahead of him here on a 14.5 flat. That's still 9 seconds faster than our current TQ. This is the B sort of the expert 2-wheel class. Wow, these guys are so close in this heat. 14.5 flat to 14.509, first to 8th. That's crazy. Scott Spear up into the 2. Oh, dropping back into the 3. Aaron Jensen, Scott Spear having a great battle. Top 4 all within 2 seconds. Again, this is just our B sort of the expert stock class. Wanger back up into the 7. Oh, and dropping just like that back down into the 8th, but he's only on a 5:08. Only 8 seconds back from Justin. Top 8 now, 7 seconds between the whole field. Less than 10. Letting these guys finish their laps out. Jensen back to the spot with a 15.521. Then we have Brown and Spear, both on 14.5 flats. Day up into the 3. And done. Oh no, Scott Spear taking the 3rd spot back from David Day at the last second. Aaron Jensen in the 2, and it's all on Aaron Brown, so you can keep that top spot. Only driver on a 15 so far in this class. Should be coming by the line here for Aaron Brown. All right. Aaron Brown, 15.523 from the B sort. So we got the A sort coming up next. See if any of those guys can take the top spot. If they do, we'll grab an interview with them. checking out our overalls for this class. Let me get that refresh in once the race is completed on timing and scoring. Alrighty. Aaron Brown, overall TQ, followed by Aaron Jensen, Scott Spear, and Justin. A lot of those guys from the B sort getting into the top 8, looks like.
We're the starving people.
Got the A sort coming up next. Sammy Moran squeaking into this one. Showing excellent speed and seating, but kept bobbling, clipping pipes. The traction has come up quick this morning. Templeman, though, our top seed. Straight out of Hot Rod Hobbies. And you got Doug. Doug was looking super fast in his seeding round. Gonna start out following Templeman here over the peaky double. Through the switchbacks and the whoop-de-doos. Double trip for Templeman. This looks like a fast 20-second lap here for Templeman to start it out. 20.3, but then Doug comes out with a 20.2, and then Cornwell with a 20.1. Get out of here. These guys are going super fast in the expert stock class. Let these guys get a few laps in right now. There's no time between the top 3. Doug got it wrong with the parking ticket before the peaky double. Cornwell still showing the top spot. 1 minute in, he had that 20.1. He's on a 15.502, so you can keep that pace up. Templeman to the top spot now, 15.503. Cornwell dropping down to a 507. Now we got Caden Meeks in the 2 on a 15.505. Where is Sammy Moran in the 8th spot? 23.4, then backs it up with a 20.1. Willoughby, though, always fast, a 19.8 from the 6th place spot. Diego in the top 4, had a great run in seating. Mason getting it wrong. Coming through the rollers to see what that next lap is. Mason with a, wow. 21.6, that still wasn't that bad of a lap, even though he stuffed the pipe. Diego up into the top 3 with a 20.6 that last time around. Still showing Templeman in the 2 with Cornwell in the 1 with about a 1/10 of a second between the 2. Cornwell by the line. And Doug right behind him over the peaky double. Hitting the switchbacks. Through the whoop-de-doos. Cornwell on a tear. Almost halfway done with this one. Templeman back to the top spot with a 20 flat. Just a few seconds between the top 5 here. Absolute insane racing. Sammy up into the 7. Not too far off pace, but the gap is just so tight between the top 7. Cornwell, though, still large and in charge on this one. 15.506. Templeman right on him with a 507. See the next time Cornwell comes by the line. He's about halfway done with his lap. Cornwell by the line, 21.0 for Cornwell. That allows Templeman to take the top spot. Cornwell 1-5 behind Templeman. Doug fighting, clawing his way back up into the 3 spot. 19-9 for Doug, back into the 2 spot. Doug on a tear in this class, now only 2 seconds back from Templeman. Templeman on cam. $35 seconds left to go. 20.1 last time by. 20 flat this time by. Keeping that 15.506 nice and tight. Couple laps left for Mason. Ooh, getting a little sketchy in the whoop-de-doos. Almost tried to exit aisle 5, but got it right back on course. Let's see what this lap shows. 20.2, even though he almost drove off the track. Absolutely insane. Last time through the whoops. Finish this one out for Templeman, down to a 5:05. We're going to catch up with Templeman and get an interview for him.
I don't have a headset. Hey, Mason, can I do an interview with you real quick? All right, we're live here with Mason Templeman with a really good run. Have anything to say about that?
Yeah, no, car worked pretty good. Started off a little questionable, but really I got in a rhythm there. My tires started heating up. Really started clicking off some decent laps and was able to pull it out.
What do you think about the track so far?
I think it's a fun track. It's definitely a little bit challenging. There's a few spots where it can be hard to tell where your car is going to be exactly, but it's fun. It'll make for some really good racing and main events and everything, and I think they did a pretty good job.
All right, well, thank you very much, Mason. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was Templeman, RTQ, for the first round of Expert Stock. Insane race. Doug almost came back, fought tooth and nail, but Templeman was just laying it down at the end there. Shout out to Robbie Rob with the interview. Up next, 2-wheel mod, B-Sort. This is our first round of qualifying at the 1UP Buggy Challenge. Checking out that driver stand again. That's kind of the popular spot. Right where Scott Spear is, that's probably the magic zone between Kurt Wanger and Scott Spear. Those are probably the magic zones for driving on this track. All right, guys, 2 heats of 2-wheel mod coming at you. Starting out with the B-Sort. Give these guys a couple laps to see who's going fast. Scott Spear coming out swinging. And our race director, Richard Lake, on the track. Having a rough first lap, but Scott Spear and Richard Lake always fast out here. They've had some great battles in the 40-plus mod class at races like the Desert Classic, the BK race. Those guys are always fun. Paint scheme's a little too close for my liking. When I'm on camera, I can almost never tell them apart. But that's why cameraman Chris is on it. He's not color deficient, and he's very good with paint schemes. Lake out of nowhere back into the 4th place spot, and Spear from out of nowhere down into the 7th place spot. These guys completely swap positions out there. But it's all about Kevin right now on a 15.5.11. On his 4th lap, 3:25 left to go. Jesse Parks in the chat. Hello from Rochester, New York. What's going on? Thanks for spending your late afternoon with us. I think it's about 3 over there. Thank you for tuning in and spending your afternoon with us. We're going to have a long day here. We're still in our first round of qualifying, about halfway through, a little past. Kyle Davis in the 2, 14.501, dropping off that 15-lap pace. Kevin, though, still laying it down, hanging on to that 15-lap pace on a 5:17. Spear from 7th to 2nd, just like that on a 14.50. 20.6 that last time by. His best lap for Scott Spear is 20.4 in this heat so far. Kevin by the line on cam over the peaky double. Hitting the switchbacks, going towards the whoops. Ooh, super buttery on that one. Cameraman Chris is telling me that Scott Spears trying to win the freestyle competition in this qualifier. 21.3 that last time by for Spear, not bad. Oh, there it is, drops down to 5th. 14 with a 5:07. That's going to allow Kurt Wanger to get by Spear. Wanger from 7th to 4th, just like that on a 14.506. Richard Lake back up into the 2 with Kyle Davis. Richard Lake in the 3 with Kyle Davis up into the 2. This has been Kevin's race, almost start to finish. 21.9 that last time by. 20.5 is his best. Only person to best Kyle right now is Scott Spear with a 20.4. So Kyle has been super consistent. Only guy on a 15-lap run now. Richard Lake gives up the 15-lap crown. See if he can get it back. He's still got a whole minute, so he's got about 3-4 laps. Just like that. Davis up into the 2. Wanger into the 4. Spear to the 5. Wortman to the 6. These guys are all over the place. Consistency pays off. $20 seconds left to go. Kevin should get at least this one and possibly one more. 21.2 that last time by. Definitely not the fastest, and just like that, Kyle Davis pulls in front of him with a 20.5. Both of them on 15.519s. Both of them can easily lose this 15-lap pace, just like our RD, Richard Lake, up into the 3, but he's on a 20.8. Lake's up into the 2 now. These guys are all over the place. Letting these guys finish their laps out. That was the B sort of 2-wheel mod. Got the A sort coming up next. 2-wheel mod still bringing out a crowd on the side of the track. Love to see it. Wilson and Cars on the chat, and I'm going to need Chris's help with this question. Any big names with X-Ray? No, not here. Oh, gotcha. 10 Renderneck or Taste Me. Okay. They are not here. Watching these guys get started out here. Ooh, horn getting crazy. My goodness, that almost looked like a Wally Builds whip. That did not look like it was on purpose. Oh, man. T. Anthony Thomas with the hard question. What's the best two-wheel drive chassis in 2024? Oh, man. And sad face from Wilson and Cars. Yep, I get it. X-Rays are definitely some sweet cars, but no big names here with X-Ray. 1 minute into this one, we're going to let these guys settle in because everyone is everywhere. Got a party of 4 coming through the whoops and the rollers here. But we got, oh my goodness. Got some crazy racing here in qualifying. And we're just a minute 15 into this. Oh my goodness, between Brock, Schimmel, and Cavalieri, it has been just all over the place. Cavalieri currently has the top spot with Matty G in the 2, and then here comes Davey Botta. Oh, Matt Gonzalez and Davey Botta in the top 2. Team Mexico in the top spot so far in two-wheel mod. Both on 16.519s. Are you kidding me, you guys? Oh, and then here comes Schimmel with the TLR in the top spot, and then Matt right back. And there's Botta with the yellow and green. All 3 of these guys. Oh, I don't have a car picture for Gonzalez. That's surprising, but I got one for Schimmel and Botta. Check these guys out. All world's competitors from 11 months ago right here in this building. We're definitely going to get an interview with whoever TQs this one. These guys putting on a show. Let's see as they come by the line here. Oh no, Matty G running Schimmel over. Coming through the rollers. Let's see what this time says now. Now we got Champlin up into the 2. Everyone is everywhere. Matty G still in the top spot with 2 minutes left to go. Gonzalez still finding time to drive, even though all the work he's been putting in for Hobby Wing. 16.517. Are you kidding me? Gonzalez went pretty much undefeated at the BK Classic here a few months ago. Absolutely ripping right now with some of the same guys he shared the track at the Worlds with. Very impressive drive for Gonzalez. Super dialed. 1:11 left to go for Gonzalez. Killing it right now. 19.4 is his best. 19.6 last time by. 16 on a 5.15. Just keeps dropping the pace. Holding it down. Brock Champlin and Davey Botta, though, right there. And Cavalieri on a 15.5 flat, flirting with a 16 lap run. Top 4 going insanely fast. Ooh, got a little loose there for Gonzalez. Best lap for Gonzalez is a 19.1 now. Grip is definitely coming up for these guys. Oh, come on. Let's see. Oh, and that's going to allow Brock Champlin into the top spot. These guys, no time between the two. Champlin and Gonzalez. It was a 19.7 to a 21.3, bumping Gonzalez off of the top spot with just that little bit of traction roll. '16 with a 5.16. Oh, and Gonzalez down to a 15 with a 5.01. Absolutely tearing it out there. Champlin, though, coming in at the end when it mattered. He's going to be our TQ. We're going to catch up with him with an interview with Robbie Robb.
All right, Mod Live Media here, trackside with Brock Champlin. Hey, how about that run?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a cluster there. There was like 10 people out there, I think, and they kind of called us all off in like half a lap. So everyone was stacked up, but yeah, I made a couple changes. My car wasn't that rad in seating, and then just barely. It was pretty awesome, but definitely got a little bit of work to do because I'm not too stoked with how that went. So.
Well, we got a long weekend still left, man. Great run out there, Brock.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you, Robbie Money. All right, catching back up in the chat. Thank you guys for handling it for me. That is the best answer, Clubhouse. There isn't a best chassis. I would say maybe last year Associated had the edge on everybody here because they had the 13 mil shocks they came out with. But after the Worlds and after how much time a lot of cars have had out here, they're all good. Obviously, we just saw Brock take the TQ with a Schumacher. Those cats are looking fast. Cavs out there. Gonzalez with the AE. Schimmel with the TLR. It's all really up to the driver and setup. Can really make anything good. These classes are so stacked anymore. So thank you guys for taking on the chat with me and answering those questions. Robbie Money fresh from the interview and on cam now, taking care of the E-Sort for 17.5 lock timing 4-wheel drive. Cameraman Chris in the A-Sort of that class, so he's got a little bit of work to do. He's going to get that TLR ready and he'll be out there. Same thing, I agree, Clubhouse. Tires pretty much all the same. It's just what you do with them. Appreciate you guys being interactive on the chat, hanging out, asking questions, answering questions, doing it all. With anything, it could be very opinionated. Doesn't matter what it is. RC cars, motocross, drag racing, just owning a pickup. We all know those guys on Facebook. Oh, my Chevy's better than your Dodge, is better than your Ford. And then real car people understand that all cars suck. Thornton, though, leading these guys out. 130 in. $22.5 for Thornton. 12 with a 5 flat. This is our E-Sort. Internet looks like it's been stabilizing, and now that I've said that, it might drop completely out, but appreciate you guys hanging in and being patient with us. While I got some activity in the chat, is there any other hobbies, sports, passions you guys have other than RC that you guys are into? While we're letting this E-Sort Heat Race 105 for the 17.5 lock timing 4-wheel drive brought to you by RC Raceworks. Any other hobbies or passions you guys are into? Anthony in the chat with the fishing. Supra, oh yeah, firearms. Man, I love fishing. Actually, I just like being out on a boat. I don't have the patience for fishing. Yeah. Scott Foy in the chat watching a lot of moto. And Zach with the pew-pews. Oh yeah. Davis in the chat. Scuba, metal detecting, and ATVs. Man, that sounds like a Tinder profile right there. Those are some cool hobbies, guys. Anything that gets you outside, really. Unless you're in Chandler, Arizona in August, then you want to go to the world famous Hobby Action and hang out in the air conditioning and drink their ice cold Coca-Colas. I'm happy I'm not outside right now. Yeah. Waterfowl hunting and side-by-sides. All right. It's a dry heat. Not during monsoons, I'll tell you that. I'm up in the mountains in Flagstaff and still 90 degrees after a monsoon sucks. Oh yeah, I've been in Buckeye. I've been to Arizona Cycle Park a bunch. Good question, Anthony Thomas, and I'm pretty sure these guys can help you answer. I know if you were to walk in here right now and you got a B7, they could set you up with everything. Shout out to Wrench Sessions too and Wally Builds. They can set you up with whatever and pretty much have a plug and play setup. But they can do that with pretty much any car too. A lot of these guys, a lot of the locals are trying out the Schumachers. Some love for the Mugen. Obviously the Associated. That's probably the most popular. And then you got your TLR sprinkled in there. Man, Scott was just up in Prescott. That's probably my lady's favorite area. Love going downtown there. They got Whiskey Row in the square. Clubhouse. Couch potatoing. Man, I need those days every once in a while. All right, Brian Wells getting a little love out there. By Rick's Race Designs. Thanks for checking in and commenting on the chat, guys. Check out my presets. Boom! On the cars. Love that. Oh, cool. Wife's family lives out there near Gurley. Cool, cool. That is a great area right there. This is going to be our D sort of the 17 lock timing 4-wheel drive, brought to you by RC Raceworks. And again, this is the 1UP Buggy Challenge. If you could check out that banner there, that is awesome. Oh yeah, Scott, just let me know. Again, I'll hit you up next time we're by my parents, because HB is 15 minutes away from my parents' house. And if you're ever going back to Prescott, let us know. Ooh, Ryan, that is a great question. I will have to ask cameraman Chris, or maybe Matt will know. Whip It RC in Reno. Huh. I have to check that out. Me and my lady went to Virginia City, which is right by Reno, Memorial Day before last, and that whole area is so freaking cool. Especially because Tahoe's right there. Done the Rubicon, all that stuff. Yeah, I'll have to check with cameraman Chris and see. He pretty much has everything memorized half the time. Oh, yes, Doug, the Wild West Shootout. We're all going to be making left turns, and my elbow's going to fall off from watching and recording it all on camera. But I'm excited. It'll be my first in-person oval RC event. So I'm excited to cover that. I'll be here in a month. And, oh, dude, Scott, that is no joke. 118, that's probably right around Needles, which is just past Hell, and probably my least favorite place on Earth in the summer. So I feel that, man. I've had to go through there in my rock crawler with the heater on with 2 bags of ice in my lap. So I feel you there. Checking out our D sort here. We got Bob Garver leading them out. 110 in on a 12.505. Bob Garver, part owner of the Fear Farm RC track in Tolleson, Arizona. Part of the 5th scale crew. Great family out there. Bob mixing it up with the 10 scales. These guys all going to be stepping it up in their 5th scale season here at the end of the year. Oh, Doug, I would love to try and do an oval race. I'm either going to be really good or really bad.
Do you drink beer? Do an oval race, you gotta drink beer.
Oh, I got cameraman Chris with me, so this is good. I have a question. Are we going, well, you guys, not me, are you going to be covering any races at Whip It RC in Reno?
They've asked us to. I don't know if there's any races yet.
Okay, I know it's in talks. I know it's in talks.
It's in Reno.
Yeah, I was just talking about Reno. Reno is a super cool area.
They
So
talked
that's
to us about doing a race there. They want to do a bigger race there.
Whip Fest, State Champs, Griswold Classic. All right, Ryan. So from what I've heard from cameraman Chris, there's conversations about it, but no official answer right now. So that is going to be TBD, to be determined. Then I got Jim and Melissa Davis again. Oval is where it's at. Run 3 different classes. Dang. Yeah, I've never heard of Whip It in Reno, but then again, I'm only around where Matt puts me. So I'm not too in tune with all the RC tracks. I know a lot of them come and go, and it's just the way it goes sometimes. So that would be definitely super cool to check out. I definitely want to try and be in Virginia City next April. They got a Grand Prix out there, so we'll definitely have to check that track out. Love that area. Check out a little bit of Whip It, go up to Tahoe. Wilson and Cars, how's the snakes in AZ? You just got to roll the dice sometimes. I know I had a rattler snap at me on my bike a couple months ago just before it got too hot to ride down here. I was on a nice single track day with a bunch of guys, and big old rattler came across the whole trail. The 2 guys in front of me accidentally ran it over. The thing coiled up and shot out at me, and I think it bit my boot or my tire or something. I've never been snapped at by a snake, and I definitely needed to change my underwear after that one. But It's a roll of the dice. I've seen them out jeeping, seen them out on my bike, and you know, it is what it is. A lot of the times they just want to let you know, hey, go away. Except the babies, they'll randomly bite and dump all their venom in you. Oh, Ryan knows about the Virginia City Grand Prix, my man. Oh, dude, I don't know about doing the 500 from VC to Tonopah. I've heard about it, and I got guys that do that stuff. I don't have a bike for that. I only have a 22 KTM 300 two-stroke cross-country. I could probably do it, but I'm definitely in for the Grand Prix. That is definitely my jam because that looks dusty, it looks hot, it looks miserable, and it looks like it's 4 hours long, and that's my jam. Oh, we got T. Anthony, Keaton Grant, and Caden Meeks are actually fast locals at Whip It in Reno. That's awesome. Good to know, good to know. And that whole race, Bob Garver pretty much held her down. 12 of the 5 flat. Ding dong, hit the pole. That one's broken. Who was that? Oh, no.
I saw the pole jump out in front of you. It moved.
Me and Randall again. Me and Randall.
Bob was already done when that happens, so that's okay.
Wait. There's something wrong. It says you won. I mean.
That was our D-sort for 17 lock timing 4-wheel. Wilson and Cars. Yeah, I'm good. No need for AZ, burn it. Hey, for about 5 months a year, 4 months a year, Phoenix is perfect. And for about 4 months a year where I live, it's perfect. Other than that, it's covered in snow. Dario coming in. I hit that pole many times. Yes, the ding-dong alert. Bob Garver's got a little bit of work to do. Our winner from that heat, break the front of that car with the pole. Oh, yeah, I know about Vegas to Reno. I had a buddy. He raced a TE 300 that was all set up for desert, and he's more of a moto guy, and he said it was one of the scarier times because he's never had a 6th gear before, and he had that thing tapped, and one of the rocks in the wash went out and bit him, and he broke his collarbone, separated his shoulder. It was yikes. But Vegas to Reno is no joke. Got the chat popping off now. We're going to be getting our C-sort going here for race 18. 17 lock timing 4-wheel drive. These lock timing classes are huge. Got 5 heats of the 2-wheel, 5 heats of the 4-wheel. Check these guys out as they're getting racked and stacked. Robbie Money on the cam. Can't take these fifth scale guys nowhere. Got Brandon Wood and Bob Garver practicing their American Sign Language at each other while they're turn marshaling. All in good fun though. Let's see what the C-sort can bring us here. Checking it out, I believe Bob's going to be our current TQ. Let me jump into that off for the overalls. Get that refresh here. All right, we have Goodwill on cam. Hitting the peaky double through the switchbacks. Our current leader, 22.5 that last time by. Our current TQ is Thornton on a 13.526, and Bob Garver sitting second overall with a 12.506. Then we're going to have our B and A sorts coming up here after this one. Two minutes down, 3 minutes left to go. Goodwill still in charge of this one. 14.516. Oh, cameraman Chris with the four-wheel walking by. He's up in a couple. Rick's Race Design rooting on John Young. He's in the 2 spot. 23-1 the last time by. John Young had to work this morning, missed the seeding rounds. Well, at least in 2-wheel. He's in the C sort of 4-wheel. He just barely showed up in time for that one. Goodwill nose picking it though on the peaky double. Cruising over the trip, up and down the hill, through the Verizon bars. Man, I love that roller section. So cool. Stacker to the top. Chucky, 21.7 to a 14.521. John Young in the 3 spot with love in the chat. Less than 2. Goodwill back to the top spot, 21.9. 13.5 flat for Bob. Chucky with a 13.501. And John Young a few seconds off with a 507. Everybody on a 13. Bob's flirting with a 14. Still flirting with a 14 for Bob after that last one, 22.8. Cameraman Robbie Rob trying to get John Young some love on the cam too. Still falling around with Goodwill. Young right behind him on the track. Robbie Rob back to our leader of Goodwill. Killing it on cam.